Okay, so in few days' time, we will be witnessing the most important election in human history. Yes, the most important election in human history, and I mean the American election. So why is this election the most important election in human history? The reason why this election is the most important in the entirety of human history is because this election is going to determine the fate and the destiny of the world. From this election, whoever becomes the leader, whoever wins this election is going to determine the fate and the destiny of the world henceforth. So this election is very important and very pivotal to us, which is the election between Trump and Harris, who are the leading candidates of the two major political party in America. So why is it so important? The major reason why it is so important is because of the things that these candidates stand for, what they represent, who they represent, what their goals and their agenda are about. So let's start with Trump. You know, Trump has ruled in a 4-year term, which is a one tenure, and he was taken out by Joe Biden. But we saw what Trump stood for. We saw the things he did. We witnessed what he actually did, what he stood for, and we all know he stood for truth. We all know he stood for righteousness, he stood for the gospel, he stood for Christ. We all know we had good economy, we had peace around the world during the days of Trump. You know, he speaks about Jesus, even though he doesn't really know much about Jesus, but he stood and he spoke about Jesus. He spoke about, you know, what he believes, the moral values. He spoke against the woke movement, the proud people. I don't want to use for the sake of censorship, I don't want to use the full word. You know, the proud people. He stood against them. And guess what? There are many attempts that has been made to take his life. Some were close, while some didn't go through at all.
Oh, that's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old, and if you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened. Oh. Let me get my shoes. I got you, sir. Let me get my shoes, sir. Hold on, your head is bloody. So we gotta move to the car. Let me get my shoes. Okay, watch out.
Then let's talk about Harris. Who is Harris? I mean, Kamala Harris. What does she stand for? You know, First of all, we cannot talk about Kamala Harris without talking about the current administration, which she's serving as the vice president. You know, and we all know that the president himself has been ill, and he have not really been the one in charge of the nation and the economy. So definitely, as the vice president, she has been the one making majority of the decisions, and you can see the economy of the world today. You can see the deals she has been signing. We can see how is it that so many nations have gone to war due to the position she took. And for example, America is behind the Ukraine and Russia war, she and she is the one clamoring for war instead of peace, while Donald Trump is clamoring for peace instead of war. You know, she never speaks. Of course, she never spoke about Jesus. She never speaks about Jesus, and obviously, there's no assassination attempts on her life. Obviously, so why is it that they want to kill Trump? So why is it that there is no assassination attempt on Harris, but there are several on Trump? You know why? Because Trump stands against the people, the rulers of this world, the wicked people who are causing pains, suffering, and mayhem. He's standing against them, and they don't want him. They want him dead. They don't want him dead. So we've already seen how is it that Kamala Harris have promised to go into war, into several wars. She has promised to, increase taxations, take so many economic decisions that are going to completely affect not just America, but the entire world. And obviously, Donald Trump has spoken about how he's going to bring about peace if elected as president-elect. Not even when he gets to the office, he's going to make peace between Russia and Ukraine, and he's going to make peace between Israel and Palestine. So think about the thousands upon thousands of people who have died. Think about how is it that if Trump comes into power, these people wouldn't be dead by now. And think about the other wars that are about to break out between North Korea and South Korea, between China and Taiwan. And Kamala Harris has promised that she is going to go to war. She is going to make sure that war breaks out. And if she gets into power, we are definitely going to see a World War III. And that is the major reason why this election is important to us. It is the most important election. And think about a World War III, where we have a lot of nuclear weapons. People will not be dying in millions. People will be dying in billions. And that is what we don't want. So this is the most important as we go into this election on November 5th. I'd like to plead with us to pray for this election. Pray for Donald Trump. He's the only hope right now that we have for peace, that we have for a good and stable economy around the world. He's the only hope. And I know that he's not a perfect man. I know he has a lot of shortcomings. But the most important thing is what he stands for and what he has done in the past, which he promised to do more. So pray for America and do everything you can to campaign and to let people know why is it that Donald Trump is more preferred, and it's better to have a Donald Trump than to have a Harris. Thanks for watching. Do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel for more content like this. I'll see you in the next one.